Trump administration issues new measures to protect religious freedom in the workplace. The guidelines are from the U.S. Office of Personnel Management. The guidance is meant to clarify religious liberty protections guaranteed in the First Amendment and enshrined in federal law. It includes the ability of federal employees to display religious imagery on their desks, a security guard being able to display a crucifix, and a doctor praying over his or her patient for recovery. Joining us now to talk a little more about this is Stephanie Taub, Senior Counsel at First Liberty Institute. Stephanie, thank you for joining us. Now, is this new guidance revolutionary for federal workers? What's new and different about it?
Yes, so this new guidance is very encouraging. It aligns the federal standards with Title VII, which is federal employment discrimination law. So Title VII applies to both government employers and also private employers. It provides that employers are required to provide religious accommodations unless doing so would cause undue hardship. And so here, the government is taking the position that personal religious expression by federal employees must be protected to the greatest extent possible, unless that expression would impose undue hardship on the business. So we're very encouraged by this, and it should be helpful for protecting the religious liberty rights of federal employees.
Now, how do you define that term you just used, undue hardship? What does that mean?
Well, First Liberty Institute won a Supreme Court case that decided or clarified what that term actually means. So undue hardship means substantial increased costs to the business. So if your religious accommodation requests, such as having a Bible on your desk or wearing a cross or engaging in conversations around the water cooler, if those sorts of religious activities don't rise to the level of substantial increased cost to the company, then your employer is required to accommodate that.
Now, you're talking about that in terms of a company. How does that then apply to the federal government? How is it different for the government?
Right. So in past years, we've seen federal workplaces think that they have to censor any mention of religion or prevent even your having a Bible on your desk or things like that. And so this guidance is correcting that misunderstanding that the First Amendment doesn't require you to censor personal religious expression. So if you can engage in personal expression about other topics during at the water cooler, during off hours, during times when that sorts of expression is allowed. If you can talk about other topics, you can also talk about religion.
A lot of people use the separation of church and state, that phrase, thinking that it exists in the Constitution as an excuse to stop people from practicing their faith. Is that actually in the Constitution?
No, that's not actually in the Constitution, and it was meant to protect or encourage the church, that the government was not going to invade the church, and that's how it was originally used in a letter from Thomas Jefferson. And so here we have, so this sort of guideline is really restoring and correcting some of those misunderstandings, that religion shouldn't be singled out for disfavor or for censorship, that you do have rights to personal religious expression at work.
Really quickly, is there anything more that can be done to move religious freedom forward from this administration?
Absolutely. We know there's still quite a few areas where the law might not be as clear. So at First Liberty, we have many cases defending employees of faith who have been fired or who face discipline because of their religious beliefs. And so you can follow those cases at firstliberty.org.
Thank you so much, Stephanie Taub, Senior Counsel at First Liberty. Thank you for joining us.